Welcome to VINYASA Yoga Sequence by Alvin Hazar. First, we are going to start with Child's Pose or Balasana. The first cue is to start on your hands and knees, aligning your wrists under shoulders and knees under your hips. The second part is lowering your hips towards your heels while stretching your arms forward. The third is resting your forehead on the mat and just relaxing. One way to modify this is by placing a cushion under your hips or chest for extra support. One way to deepen is extending your arms farther forward, actively pressing your palms into the mat. Next, I will go from Child's Pose to Cat Pose. Inhale as you rise onto your hands and knees, coming into a tabletop position. Align your wrists under your shoulders, knees under hips. The first cue of Cat Pose, or Marjayasana, is begin in tabletop position with wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. The second is round your back, tucking your chin towards your chest. The third is draw your belly towards your spine as you exhale. One way to modify this is perform the pose on your forearms if your wrists start to be discomfortable. One way to deepen is engage the core muscles to deepen the arch. As you can see, I'm going from Cat Pose to Cow Pose. The way I transition these is inhaling and arching my back, lifting my tailbone and chest into Cow Pose. I'm flowing smoothly between these, keeping my breaths held in and out. So now, as you can see, I'm in Cow Pose, or Bitalasana. The cues for this is the first, from tabletop, drop your belly towards the mat. The second, lift your tailbone and head while inhaling deeply. The third is squeeze your shoulder blades together. One way I modify this is placing a blanket under my knees for comfort levels. One way to deepen this is focus on extending the tailbone higher and stretching the chest. Next, I will go into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes and exhale as you lift your hips up and back into downward dog. Keep your knees slightly bent if needed. Now we are in downward facing dog, or Ardha Mukha Savasana. So you start in tabletop, as you can see, and lift your hips upward, forming an inverted V shape. Second, you spread your fingers wide, pressing palms firmly into mat. Third, straighten your legs as much as comfortable. One way to modify this is by bending your knees slightly if hamstrings are tight, as you can see I'm doing this. One way to deepen is engage your quads and lift and lengthen till the legs are fully extended. As you can see, I bend my knees back and forth to take breaks. Next, I will go into plank pose. Inhale as you shift your shoulders forward, stacking them over your wrists. Keep your body in one straight line. Now I am in plank pose, or Plankanasa. The first cue is start in tabletop and step your feet back, forming a straight line from your head to your heels. Second, stack your shoulders directly above your wrists. Third, engage your core and press through your heels. One way to modify is by lowering your knees to the mat for a supported plank. One way to deepen is shift forward slightly to engage the arms and shoulders. As you can see, I am putting my knees down. Now we will move into Chaturanga Tadasana pose. Exhale as you bend your elbows, keeping them close to your sides and lower halfway down. This is called the four-limb staff, or Chaturanga Tadasana pose. So you're going to start in plank and shift forward on your toes. Second, you will bend your elbows, keeping them close to your side. Third, lower halfway down, maintaining a straight line through your body. One way to modify this is lowering your knees, as you can see I do here. One way to deepen is hover closer to the ground for greater intensity. As you can see, I take breaks every once in a while. Next, I will move into upward facing dog pose. Inhale as you push through the mat, lifting your chest and thighs off the mat. Now we are in upward facing dog, or Urdhva Mukha Savasana. First cue is lie flat on your belly with palms under your shoulders. Second is to push into your hands as you lift your chest and thighs off the mat. Third is to keep your arms straight and roll your shoulders back. One way to modify this, as I do every once in a while, is keeping your thighs resting on the mat for less intensity. One way to deepen it is lifting higher and engaging the core for more stretch in your spine. As you can see, I take breaks every once in a while. Next, we are going to move into lower lunge. Exhale as you tuck your toes, lift your hips, and step 1 foot forward between your hands. Lower your back knee to the mat. So now we are in lower lunge or VINYASA. First cue is step 1 foot forward between your hands from downward dog. Second is to lower your back knee to the mat, ensuring the front knee is stacked over the ankle. Reach your arms overhead or rest on your knee for the third cue. As you can see, I'm switching in between each leg. One way to modify is placing a blanket under your knee for if you are in discomfort. One way to deepen is to sink deeper into the lunge, moving your hips closer to the mat. Now I'm going to move into Warrior 2 pose. Inhale as you lift your torso, rotating your back foot flat and extending your arms. The song script for Warrior 2 is VINYASA 2. The first cue is to step 1 foot forward into a wide stance, bending the front knee over the ankle. The second is extend your arms parallel to the ground, gazing over their front fingertips. The third is to keep your back leg straight and firmly grounded. One way I modify this is shortening the stance if balance is challenging. One way to deepen is sinking deeper into that front knee for more intensity. Next, I'm going to move into my last pose, which is mountain pose. Exhale as you step your back forward foot, straightening both legs till they're underneath your shoulders. Inhale as you rise tall with your arms by your side. The song script for this is Tadasana. The cues are first to stand tall with feet together or hip width apart. Second is to engage your thighs and lengthen your spine upward. Third is to relax your shoulders while lifting your arms overhead by wrestling them by your sides. One way to modify is stand with your feet slightly wider for stability. One way to deepen is close your eyes for a greater challenge to balance and awareness. Thank you for watching my vinyasa and yoga sequence.